Coming up tonight on Middle Tennessee News, a string of drive-by shootings are riddling 3 cities in Rutherford County and surrounding counties, and law enforcement needs answers. And we have quick developing information about being vaccinated in Tennessee.
All those stories plus your local weather and sports, Middle Tennessee News starts right now.
Good evening. I'm Christy Jones, joined by Will Stevenson in the studio. Welcome to Middle Tennessee News.
Laverne police are searching for suspects involved with multiple drive-by shootings on Tuesday. 3 different vehicles have been identified in 3 separate shootings. The first vehicle was identified as a dark-colored Kia Soul. The second vehicle could be a Nissan Altima, Maxima, or Toyota Camry. The third is believed to be a silver Dodge Caliber. The shootings occurred on Clear Lake Drive, Mabel Drive, Nicole Lane, and R.G. Buchanan. Police are still unsure if these events are connected. They have also warned that these offenders are armed and dangerous, and police are currently working on identifying subjects who are considered persons of interest.
The person shot in the officer-related shooting in Wilson County Sunday night has been identified as 20-year-old Quentin Dominic Harris. When police responded to a stolen vehicle report, Harris attempted to leave the scene by hitting police vehicles and driving towards a deputy, resulting in that deputy firing at him. He refused to stop, and Metropolitan Nashville officers later found him with a gunshot wound at a home in Hermitage. Harris remains hospitalized at this time, and we will continue to update you on the situation when more information becomes available. The County Sheriff's Office wants the public to know that the recent strings of drive-by shootings are not connected, and detectives are actively investigating.
The Sheriff's Office responded to a home on Chadwick Drive in the county yesterday morning, and we found that there was a man who was the victim of a drive-by shooting inside his home. We want people to know we believe this is a targeted shooting, not just a random shooting. He was taken to the hospital for his injuries, and he's expected to survive those injuries. Right now, our detectives are following up leads, and they are looking at some suspects, but they, feel confident that they will be able to have some answers pretty soon.
We will keep you updated as we get more information.
More developing news. Governor Lee announced Monday that starting April 5th, all Tennessee adults will be eligible for the COVID-19 vaccination. We were just informed moments ago that Bill Lee has decided as of today, if you're 16 years or older, you're available to get the vaccine now. This moves up to Phase 3 of COVID vaccinations, which were originally set on April 5th. To learn more about eligibility and vaccination locations, visit covid19.tn.gov.
71-year-old Charlie Ellis of Goodlettsville was fatally injured this morning when a dump truck backed over him in a construction zone. The roadway was in the process of being repaved when a Kenworth dump truck hauling asphalt backed over Ellis. The preliminary contributing factor to the collision appears to be improper backing on the part of the driver, Dennis Miller. Miller showed no signs of impairment, and any charges against Miller will be determined at the conclusion of the investigation.
The World Health Organization declared COVID-19 a global pandemic in March 2020, and according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, since the beginning of the pandemic, more than 354 million COVID-19 tests have been performed in the United States. On December 14th, the COVID-19 vaccine distribution began in the United States. Since the beginning of the distribution, more than 128 million doses have been administered. Over 75 million people have received at least one COVID-19 vaccine dose since the beginning of the distribution of the vaccine. Over 40 million of those people have received 2 doses and are considered to be fully vaccinated. According to the CDC, hospital admissions of patients with confirmed COVID-19 has been decreased. The number of admitted patients decreased from over 16,000 admissions to under 5,000 admissions over the week ending on March 16, 2021. The CDC says that COVID-19 deaths has declined as well. The current weekly average of new deaths has decreased from 69.7% compared with the highest peak on January 13th, 2021. According to the CDC, once you are fully vaccinated, you can do activities such as gathering indoors with unvaccinated. However, the CDC recommends that when in public and at gathering with unvaccinated people from more than one household, a mask should still be worn.
The Tennessee Department of Health is warning people against posting their photos of their COVID-19 vaccination card online. The department said that the information on the cards can be used by identity thieves, including date of birth and healthcare details. If you observe suspicious activity, you should report it to the Office of Inspector General's hotline through the department's website at tips.hhs.gov or call 1-800-447-8477. Carson Sisk joins us now for our first look at weather. Still ahead on Middle Tennessee News, MTSU professor Larry Burris brings his weekly commentary about a hot topic in the nation. Bill Lee also announced a new campaign to make a state a leading nation, a national leader in adoption. And the Myrtle Lane Lord Library has started a book club about books you won't normally see on the shelves. That's coming up next on Middle Tennessee News.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and hugged me. My parents cooked my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents took me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Jordan knows he shouldn't eat this entire bowl of nachos, but tonight he's earned that right, because a few hours ago in the middle of happy hour, he recognized a sign. Not from the gods or a bolt of lightning, but from a double heart, a kissy face, and a fourth ha in ha-ha. That's when Jordan knew he was buzzed. So when it was time to go, he got a ride home instead of driving. Be a legend like Jordan. Recognize your buzz warning signs and get a ride home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Black truck? Hey, Christina from County.
Yeah, hi.
Hey, I used to date a girl named Christina.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then she dumped me for my best friend. You want to see some photos or something that I took?
I don't know.
I thought we talked about this, buddy.
Buzz and share again?
Yeah.
I'm gonna call a car.
That's a smart idea.
So yeah, I know, that's why I did it.
Hey, you're gonna get back to the top of the mountain.
Does that mean I'm gonna get back with Christina?
No.
Oh.
No.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome back to Middle Tennessee News. MTSU professor Larry Burris spoke on the lack of transparency from past and current presidential administration in his latest media commentary.
I've often thought it interesting to compare promise versus performance when it comes to election campaigns, particularly issues related to so-called transparency. It's also interesting to see how accomplishments by previous administrations are adopted by the existing occupants of the presidential office, and how current failures are blamed on the former occupant of the Oval Office. What's that saying again? Success has 1,000 parents, but failure is an orphan. But back to transparency. The Biden administration promised a new era in openness, but it has taken less than 2 months for promise and performance to seriously diverge. Whatever you want to call the events at the southern border, are they a crisis, a problem, or an issue, the fact is the administration has shut down access to news and information. And the follow-up question in every such case is, what are they trying to hide? You can be sure, if there wasn't a problem at the border, the administration would be more than happy to host dozens of reporters on air and ground ride-alongs, interviews, and press conferences. And the spin is obvious. When asked about access, Press Secretary Jen Psaki said officials have been quoted and filmed dozens of times. She failed to mention that access to the cams themselves has been totally blocked. And crucially, any access to where the children are is staying off limits. Of course, the argument is made about not invading the children's privacy. But I'd be willing to bet everyone has seen video with faces blurred while maintaining appropriate but disturbing looks at the living conditions. From the early days of the Republic, presidents have been trying to hide their activities and policies from the public. Today we hear endless lists of complaints on social media, but those same media outlets are showing us presidents can run, but they can't hide. I'm Larry Burris.
We'll have Professor Burris's latest commentary again on Monday. Governor Lee has announced a new campaign to make Tennessee a national leader in foster care and adoption. TN Foster Cares is the newest statewide collaborative campaign created to step up and serve the foster and adoptive youth of Tennessee. About 8,000 Tennessee children are in foster care, and over 350 of those children are awaiting adoption. To learn more about the ongoing plans and to get involved yourself, visit tnfostershope.tn.gov. The Opry hosted the 46th annual Tennessee Prayer Breakfast with Governor Bill Lee this morning. The Tennessee Prayer Breakfast is presented by the Citizens Committee every year before the conclusion of the Tennessee General Assembly legislative session. This event consists of worship music, an uplifting message, and a prayer. This year's musical guests were 8-time Grammy nominee Natalie Grant and her husband, Grammy Award-winning songwriter and producer Bernie Herms. Malie Filtration Systems held a groundbreaking ceremony to commence the start of an upcoming expansion to the business. The groundbreaking ceremony celebrates the joining of two separate Malie-based companies into one building. The expansion is set to bring in over 300 new jobs to the Rutherford County area. Malie will also be adding 14,000 square feet to their current facilities. Malie will be holding a drive-through job fair on the second Wednesday of every month, starting in May, to hire new employees. People can also apply for positions through their website at jobs.malie.com.
We've got
as well approximately having 300 new employees, stating what we will hire over the next 2 to 3 years.
The Merle Glanton Lord Library has announced a virtual book club focusing on banned books. The virtual book club is hosted on Google Meet on the last Tuesday of every month. The banned book club has their first meeting yesterday when they discussed A Clockwork Orange by Anthony Burgess. The book for each month has already been announced through November. The book for April is The Curious Instance of the Dog in the Nighttime by Mark Hayden. Church Street Gallery hosts Art Talks event which featured MTSU Be the Missing Piece project. The gallery launches its first Art Talks, an event that starts a conversation on art that is noteworthy. The Be the Missing Piece project was a collaboration of science and art students and hundreds of student and faculty volunteers. The project included 10 puzzle pieces that represented life skills needed for success that will be given by the World Economic Forum. It brought together the science needed to create the piece and the art to convey those 10 skills.
It felt more just like people wanting to come in and learn. It didn't feel like they were lesser than me or anything like that. They just felt like, it felt like hanging out with friends again.
Carson joins us now for our second look at tonight's forecast.
Tonight's forecast is going to start out clear, but cloud coverage will increase through the night. There's a 70% chance of rain overnight, and expect lows in the upper 50s in Middle Tennessee. Murfreesboro can expect an overnight low of 58. Woodbury and Shelbyville are also going to see lows of 58 tonight, and Mount Juliet, McMinnville, and Manchester will see lows of 57. Wave goodbye to the sunny weather for a few days. Clouds and rain will be moving in tonight with a 70% chance for showers overnight. So take advantage of your last few hours of sunshine we have until Friday afternoon. Our southeast winds will be up to 10 miles per hour. And while we're at it, why don't we take a look at our allergen counts for the week. Starting out today, we had an allergen count of 9.9 for maple and juniper, which is pretty high. Going into tomorrow, though, we're going to see counts at about 3.1 because they're going to have that rain showers. Those are going to come in and really wash away those allergies. So it gives you all a break for a bit, which will be nice. However, be ready because for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, those counts are going to go back through the roof. So make sure you prepare for that. Make sure you take your allergy medicines. Be prepared for everything that's going to be going on. So once again, 9.9, 3.1 tomorrow, and up through the weekend. After the break, I'll have your full forecast, and later, Will Stevenson will join us from the MTN Sports Den for all things Middle Tennessee sports. Stay tuned for more on Middle Tennessee News.
Son, love is like the ocean. You have to tread the waters.
That sounds kind of help me. Jessica, will you go to prom with me?
Yes.
Thousands of teens in foster care can't wait to share the first with you.
I go back and change it all. I would. I think I'm gonna miss you. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Maybe it's just a little more. I go back and change it all. I go back. I would. But I can't.
Once there was a boy who did the same thing again and again. One day, he was told he had autism. He got help and slowly learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the science at autismspeaks.org.
Natural disasters are a fact of life in the U.S. And between activities in school, chances are you won't be with your kids when they happen. Well, if you know what to do, reg.gov/kids can help your children feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
Put the keys down, Kevin.
But I'm gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
My text to emoji ratio has gotten a little out of hand.
A little?
Yep, I'm definitely in Colorado.
Welcome back to Middle Tennessee News. Today's highs have been in the mid-70s with partly cloudy skies across Middle Tennessee. We've had sunny conditions this afternoon, but don't expect those clear skies to persist. There will be wind speeds of up to 15 miles per hour from the southwest until nighttime when they drop to 10 miles per hour from the southeast. Through the early evening, it will be in the upper 60s before reaching our overnight lows in the upper 50s. Tonight's low is 58 in Murfreesboro. Starting tomorrow, there is a chance for severe thunderstorms through the entire day. Expect damaging winds, hail, and the potential for tornadoes through the afternoon and evening. Tomorrow we'll have highs in the upper 60s to lower 70s. The high is expected to be around 70 here in Murfreesboro, and heavier southeast winds of up to 20 miles per hour will hit tomorrow afternoon. Even stronger gusts will hit at night as we see southwest wind speeds reach up to 25 miles per hour. We have a 100% chance for storms in the afternoon, and tomorrow night we will have overcast skies with lows in the lower 50s with a 90% chance of rain and storms. Expect tomorrow's low to be around 51. Going into Friday morning, we will mostly have sunny skies with a very low chance of showers throughout the day. Friday is going to remain warm with highs in the upper 60s around 69. Friday's winds will be from the west with light winds around 5 miles per hour through both the day and night. Then on Friday night, the chance for showers will increase to about 50%. There will be mostly clear skies at night before we get a chance of showers after midnight. The winds won't be very strong. Overnight lows will be in the upper 40s, around 49. Saturday is when the more rain is expected to hit, with a 50% chance of rain, and we will see scattered storms throughout the day. Highs will be around the mid-70s, with southwest winds up to 10 miles per hour. Don't expect to go outside this weekend, as we will see these scattered showers and storms through the entire weekend. Saturday night, we'll have an increased chance of rain at 60%. Lows that night will be in the upper 50s at around 57. Sunday morning, we'll have AM showers with chances around 40%. Winds will be from the north and up to 10 miles per hour in the afternoon. Sunday's highs will be in the upper 60s at about 65. And finally, Sunday night will clear out with clouds decreasing through the night. Chances for rain are about 40% still that evening. And that night, winds from the north will increase up to 15 miles per hour with lows overnight in the lower 40s. When we come back, Will Stevenson is over in the MTN Sports Den, where he'll have your full sports report after the break. Stick around.
Son, love is like the ocean. You have to tread the waters.
Dad, that's not the kind of help I needed. Jessica, will you go to prom with me?
Yes.
Thousands of teens in foster care can't wait to share the first with you.
Go back and change it all. I would. I think I'm gonna miss you. Sorry. So sorry. So sorry. Maybe it's just a little more. I can go back and change it all. Go back. I wish. But I can't.
Once there was a boy who did the same thing again and again. One day, he was told he had autism. He got help and slowly learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime difference. Learn the science at autismspeaks.org. Natural disasters are a fact of life in the U.S. And between activities and school, chances are you won't be with your kids when they happen. Will they know what to do? Reg.gov/kids can help your children feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
Put the keys down, Kevin.
But I'm gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
My text to emoji ratio has gotten a little out of hand.
A little?
Yep, I'm definitely in Colorado.
Welcome back to Middle Tennessee News. I'm Will Stevenson here in the MTN Sports Den, and where we had a silent Monday and Tuesday in athletics, we have a full weekend full of games to look forward to here at MTSU. Let's start things off with MT Baseball, who's making their way to Birmingham for a weekend series against UAB. This is the first of two series with UAB this season, and MTSU has won 11 of the 18 games they've played since joining the CUSA. This series kicks off their conference play, which puts them right back where they left off last year when their season was suspended right before they made their way into the conference portion of the schedule. The Blue Raiders will only see conference matchups from here on until they face Murray State in mid-May. Also on the topic of Blue Raider baseball, MTSU has a few players that have been recognized nationally for their independent stats. In that group, we have Aaron Brown, who is second in the NCAA in strikeouts with an even 50 Ks. Also on the mound is Zach Keenan, who is ranked 10th in the ERA category with a .61. Switching to the batter's box, we have Fausto Lopez, who just moved to 5th overall for stolen bases in the nation. Next up, we have the MTSU men's tennis team, who is hosting DePaul on Friday at the Adams Tennis Complex. The match is to defend a 26-home win streak for the Blue Raiders that dates back to 2019. They quickly returned to action on Sunday to host South Florida, who is ranked 29th in the ITA as of today. These two schools have not faced off since 2015, and South Florida has won each of the 4 matches they've had together The 35th ranked Blue Raiders will surely see an improvement in their rank if this weekend goes in their favor. Make sure to tune in to both of those matches on CUSA.tv for MTN Sports live coverage of MTSU tennis. I'll be on the call for both of those days, joined by Zachary Lone on Friday and Nathan Vaughn on Sunday. And now we have some breaking news for the Blue Raider tennis team as the newest ITA rankings just came in. Francisco Rocha has been named 35th in the country in singles. This is the first time he's been ranked in the ITA. Stein Slump has also been placed in the top 125 for singles at 111. Let's keep it rolling to MTSU soccer, who had a long week off after a big match against Ole Miss was canceled last Sunday. They're heading to Miami to face FIU in order to escape this rainy weekend here in Murfreesboro. This matchup is historically in favor of MTSU, with the Lady Raiders having a 6-2-1 record on the road against FIU. The soccer team only has 3 games remaining on the schedule, which are all in conference, and MTSU is only 1-2 on the season. The women's golf team will be in East Tennessee at the start of next week for the Chattanooga Classic. The Lady Raiders will face off against 14 other schools in a 54-hole outing at the Black Creek Country Club, which is ranked in the top 100 courses in the United States. Here's a list of the schools competing in that tournament and their pairings. To track live scoring for the event, you can find the link on our sports page at middletennesseenews.net. A Tennessee sports betting company has been sued state officials to try to overturn their suspension of the firm's sportsbook. Tennessee Action 24/7 filed a lawsuit on Monday targeting Tennessee lottery officials for suspending the company's last week at the outset of the men's basketball NCAA tournament. The company is arguing that correct regulatory processes were not followed, and an investigator jumped to conclusions about the level of debit card fraud that had occurred. Lottery officials have questioned why it took more than a week for the company to notify them of the issues. The suspension remains in effect until a review finds that proper internal controls are in place. That's all from the MTN Sports Den. Chrissy, back to you.
Thanks, Will. Thank you for joining us for Middle Tennessee News. I'm Chrissy Jones, joined by Will Stevenson and Carson Sisk in the studio. If you missed this or any other show, you can watch them on our website, middletennesseenews.net. Make sure to also follow us on our social media sites as well, Facebook/Middle Tennessee News or at Middle Tennessee. We'll see you on Monday for our next show.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cooked my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Jordan knows he shouldn't eat this entire bowl of nachos, but tonight he's earned that right. Because a few hours ago in the middle of happy hour, he recognized a sign. Not from the gods or a bolt of lightning, but from a double heart, a kissy face, and a fourth ha in ha ha ha. That's when Jordan knew he was buzzed. So when it was time to go, he got a ride home instead of driving. Be a legend like Jordan. Recognize your buzz warning signs and get a ride home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Black truck? Hey, Christina from County.
Yeah, hi.
Hey, I used to date a girl named Christina.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then she dumped me for my best friend. You want to see some photos of them later time?
I thought we talked about this, bud.
Oh, is the number shared again?
Yeah.
I'm gonna call a car.
That's a smart idea.
So yeah, I know, that's why I did it.
Hey, you're gonna get back to the top of the mountain.
Does that mean I'm gonna get back with Christina?
No.
Oh.